Man, it's nice to finally complete that look. But obviously the stem alone won't drop that 45 grams that I needed to get below that 6.3. So let's head inside and take a closer look at the stem and those other little pieces, and then come back out and check that final weight, because of course I brought my bike weighing kit, as you always do when you're out in the mountains. So let's not beat around the bush and start with the new stem, the Schmolke TLO, or the lightest only. Such a nice start to the presentation here, gold logo on a matte black box, and then as you open it and see the inner cutout for the stem is cut using a butter knife or something. As someone who likes a good presentation, this hurts my heart. Anyway, a pretty nice chunk of carbon this, and just to address the obvious question, why the TLO and not the THM tibia? It's exactly the same stem, but since I have the THM crank and the THM bars, it would definitely make more sense. But the simple answer was availability. The Schmolke was in stock at Bike24 and the tibia was out of stock everywhere and had a delivery time of 8 weeks or more. So an easy decision for me. I never been too OCD when it comes to mixing brands. I rather like the uniqueness of the thing. So the weight, 89.5 grams. The THM tibia in the same length is spec'd at 84 grams plus minus 5%, which means this is 1.3 grams overweight. I'm not too bummed about that, but it would be nice if it could go the other way for once. The TLO will be replacing my temporary Caloi Uno stem that is 102.4 grams, modded with the titanium hardware. But of course, it's not just the stem that's new. I needed an out front Garmin mount to complete the look. There was really only one option, and that is of course the Carbonworks mount made specifically for this Schmolke and THM stem. Nice CNC machined aluminium mount that mounts to the stem faceplate with 2 screws. It also means there's some adjustability on angle, which is a plus. The mounting screws are rather puny and has a Torx T8 head, which is not the most common size to have in your tool arsenal. I didn't have it and I tried a flat screwdriver at first, but the screws rattled loose in the first 500 meters, so I got the right tool for the job in the end. I also since have added a drop of low strength Loctite to the screws, just to be on the safe side. The mount does make it a bit cumbersome to reach the bolt on the stem, but with 2 extensions on my preset 4 Nm wrench, it was possible. Man, I love this tool. So the stem with the mount tips the scale at 100 grams on the dot, and that makes the mount 10.5 grams. And compared to my Caloi Uno stem with the standard stem mount at 110.4, the weight saving are just 10 grams. So with the prices in mind, this is obviously not the best value stem, but this time it wasn't really about the weight, it was to complete the look. Also 10 grams won't get me even close to that 45 grams I need to drop. So let's move on to the next item of the day. And that is the through axles. I mentioned I had lighter axles incoming in the parts video, and they finally arrived. The original axles are 70 grams for the pair, and that's without the stupid handle that I obviously don't use. The new axles come in this luxurious packaging, and these are the J&L axles bought on eBay, 50.6 grams for the pair, and that's a nice 20 grams saving in total, but I need another 15 grams at least. So the next part to work on is the seat topper. I already have the lightweight and shorter version, and it's not too bad at 126.6 gram, but since Trek sells a lightweight Seapost clamp air kit, it would be a shame not to take advantage of that, I thought. It was not in stock here in Japan, but I finally found some online from the UK. However, as I inspected the ears, I discovered that the left and right was a different size. One for 9mm rails and the other one for 10mm rails. So unusable. But before I packed it up to send it back, I decided to at least check the weight, And I'm glad I did, because my original ears are actually a smidge lighter. It turns out it's actually the cradle part that is the light thing in this kit. So I could just swap that and use my original ears. And to be honest, I was never super stoked on the red color anyway. It also meant I didn't have to waste time dealing with returning stuff and warranty claims. Yeah, don't like that. The new cradle in place put the complete weight of the seat topper at 118 grams. So that's another 8 grams saved. Definitely not worth the price, but since when has that ever stopped me before? I'm still missing a few grams to hit that sub 6.3, so there's one last thing, and that is a direct mount hanger. I picked this up from this brand, this brand, and it's pretty close to the laser edge weight on the side, coming in at 12.7 grams. The original track hanger is only 10.8 grams, but keep in mind that I must remove the B-link from the rear mech when using a direct mount hanger. That means a massive 27 grams with the old hanger and a total weight saving of 15 grams. And that should put me just where I want to be. However, the universe didn't let me get away that easy. It turned out the threads on the new hanger wasn't properly tapped the last millimeter or so. So just as with the saddle ears, I was about to start messing with sending shit back and warranty claims and all that mess. That's obviously the right thing to do when you get parts that doesn't do what they're supposed to, but I'm way too impatient for that, and waiting another 2 to 4 weeks arguing over shipping cost, etc. I just decided to tap the last millimeter myself. With that done, everything is finally in place and ready for that sub 6.3 confirmation. Right? I should add I ran into one little issue with installing the stem, and that is the shape of the stem at the back. It actually hits the bearing top cap without any spacers underneath, which is a bummer. I managed to use a 3mm spacer, and then I could just slide a sheet of paper behind the stem. It was a bit too close for comfort, so in the end I put 2mm spacers underneath, and that resulted in this amount of clearance. I can't really feel any difference. It's more a mental thing. I had my suspicion that this would be the case, but I'm still about 4 or 5mm lower than my open anyway. But if I want to go lower in the future, I probably need another stem. Okay, moment of truth. I hope I can do this one-handed. Let's see, zeroed, bike. Okay. So that doesn't really make sense. I wonder if the scale actually is kind of sensitive to the cold or something. It's about maybe 20 grams too light, according to my calculations. So I will do another weigh in inside in room temperature. That's more like it. Now, obviously, saving that 53 or so grams didn't really change the feel of the bike, unsurprisingly. But that's not the point. The point is just to have fun and see how stupid we can get. So don't be that guy in the back of the party that just broke up with his girlfriend and is like negative and blah, 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 take a dump. Well, just... And I know some people really want kind of a review of this bike. That's way too early for this. I can say this, it climbs pretty much as expected, light and snappy as hell. The big surprise for me is descending. It descends super confident and very safe, but still very responsive. God damn it, stop saying that stuff. So that was a good thing. Well, I don't think it's a good thing, because me increasing speed downhill is probably a recipe for disaster, as I'm proven in the past. Now I just wish the weather gets a bit warmer and I can start riding without a bunch of cameras. Man, that destroys the fun of riding. Anyway, we'll continue on this in the future, but I'm definitely done buying expensive parts for this bike now.